There's a short video that's been circulating online recently. It shows a group of penguins standing together, repeating the same routine. And then, one penguin turns away and starts walking in a completely different direction. Nothing dramatic happens. No music. No explanation. And yet, millions of people felt something watching it. Not amusement, not surprise, but recognition. Today, we're not going to talk about the penguin's psychology. Animals don't think like humans. We're going to talk about why we reacted the way we did, and what that says about feeling stuck, disoriented, or quietly searching for meaning. What makes the clip powerful is how ordinary it is. There's no chaos. Nothing is wrong. The penguins aren't trapped. They're just doing the same thing they always do. And then one penguin walks away. No explanation, no certainty, just movement. And why we attach meaning. In psychology, there's a simple idea called projection. It means we unconsciously place our own thoughts, emotions, and conflicts onto something neutral. The penguin didn't symbolize purpose on its own. We gave it meaning, because when we're tired, stuck, or restless, the mind is constantly looking for symbols that reflect how we feel. And this one landed. Most people who resonated with that video aren't depressed. They're experiencing something quieter. Pattern fatigue. Same routine. Same environment. Same conversations. Same expectations. Even when life is fine, repetition slowly dulls emotional engagement. And when we see someone or something step out of a pattern, the brain reacts with relief. Not happiness, but relief. Here's something important. When people feel lost, they don't actually want happiness first. They want direction. Movement feels like meaning because it signals possibility. The penguin didn't look confident. It didn't know where it was going. And that made it relatable, because many people don't want a perfect plan. They just want to feel like they're moving again. Walking away has become one of the strongest psychological symbols of our time. Not because everyone wants to escape society, but because walking away represents agency. Choosing something, even uncertainty, over staying frozen. That's why people connected it to breaking patterns, leaving the matrix, choosing purpose, starting over. Not because the penguin did those things, but because people want permission to imagine doing them. Here's the grounding part. Walking away doesn't automatically solve anything. Change without reflection can just be another loop. The video resonated not because the penguin escaped, but because it paused the pattern. And sometimes that's all people need. A pause, a reorientation, a reminder that movement is possible, not a dramatic exit. If this video resonated with you, it doesn't mean you need to abandon your life. It might mean you need novelty, or curiosity, or reflection, or a small disruption. Sometimes the most meaningful change isn't walking away. It's changing how you move within what you already have. The penguin didn't teach us anything new. It just reminded us of something we already feel. That quiet restlessness, that desire to move, that need for direction even without certainty. And maybe that's why it stayed with us. Not because it was profound, but because it was honest. And honesty matters. Because most people don't feel dramatically lost. They feel quietly misaligned. They wake up, do what they're supposed to do, and move through the day without anything clearly wrong. Yet something doesn't quite click. It's not sadness. It's not crisis. It's the sense of standing still while time keeps moving. That's what the penguin stirred. Not a call to escape, but a reminder of motion. When we feel disoriented, the brain starts searching for meaning in small things. Person changing direction, a train going the opposite way, a figure stepping out of line. We latch onto these moments because they offer something rare, a break in predictability. And predictability over time can feel emotionally suffocating even when it's safe. What many people felt watching that penguin wasn't inspiration. It was relief. Relief that movement is still allowed. Relief that sameness isn't permanent. Relief that choosing a different direction doesn't require a full explanation. The penguin didn't announce a reason. It didn't justify itself. It didn't look back. And that simplicity felt freeing. In a world where every decision needs to be explained, optimized, and defended, the idea of moving without justification feels almost radical. But psychologically, it's very human. We're not built to constantly rationalize our inner shifts. Sometimes we just feel the need to move, and don't yet know why. This is where people start using words like purpose, breaking patterns, or escaping the matrix. Not because they want chaos, but because they're trying to name a feeling they don't yet understand. A feeling that says, something in me wants change, even if I can't articulate it. The penguin became a safe container for that feeling. And there's something important here. You don't need to walk away from everything to respond to that restlessness. Sometimes the movement people crave isn't physical. It's psychological. A shift in how they relate to their time, their work, their expectations, the story they're telling themselves about where they're supposed to be. What resonated wasn't the destination. It was the permission. Permission to pause. Permission to question the pattern. Permission to imagine that staying still isn't the only option, even if you don't move yet. So if that video stayed with you longer than you expected, it doesn't mean you're lost. It means you're listening. Listening to a quiet signal that often gets drowned out by routine and noise. A signal that doesn't demand dramatic change, just awareness. And awareness is where movement actually begins. Not with certainty, not with confidence, but with noticing. Noticing that something inside you wants a little more space, a little more direction, a little more life. The penguin didn't walk away to teach us anything. It walked, and we recognized ourselves in the motion. That recognition is what stayed. And maybe that's enough for now. And that recognition matters. Because freedom doesn't always begin with a big decision. It often begins with honesty. Honesty about what feels heavy. Honesty about what feels repetitive. Honesty about what no longer fits the way it once did. Most people don't need to escape their lives. They need to stop ignoring themselves inside them. Real freedom isn't always about leaving. Sometimes it's about loosening. Loosening the belief that you must stay the same forever. Loosening the pressure to have everything figured out. Loosening the idea that wanting something different means something is wrong. It doesn't. It means you're paying attention. When people talk about breaking patterns, what they often mean is allowing yourself to question routines that were built for survival, not fulfillment. Allowing curiosity to replace autopilot. Allowing small changes without demanding a final answer. Freedom starts small. A new question, a new perspective. Pause before repeating what you've always done. Self-realization isn't a dramatic awakening. It's quiet. It's noticing when your energy fades. It's recognizing when you're moving, but not feeling alive. It's understanding that restlessness isn't an enemy. It's information. Information that something in you wants growth, not destruction. The penguin didn't rush. It didn't panic. It simply moved when staying still no longer made sense. That's the part people connected to. Not rebellion, not escape, but trust. Trust that movement can come before certainty. Trust that you don't need permission to listen to yourself. If this idea of self-realization felt familiar, or comforting, or quietly unsettling, that's okay. It means something inside you is awake. You don't have to act on it immediately. You don't have to change everything. Sometimes awareness is already a form of freedom. So if this reflection helped you understand that feeling, that quiet restlessness, that pull towards something unnamed, then I hope it gave you a little space to breathe, a little permission to listen, and a little trust that you're not lost. You're just becoming more aware of where you are. I hope this moment of reflection was helpful. And if it stayed with you, that's not by accident. Sometimes all it takes is a simple scene to remind us that movement is still possible, even gently,